Hey, James.
Hey, Dan, I'm sure this is rather disappointing. I mean, I suppose anything can happen, and this is just one of those things that can happen. First and foremost, did this official have any interaction with anybody, since they usually have access to the lower pole in the building? So that's, to me, first and foremost, did anybody else have contact with this person?
No, the officials were tested early this morning, and so they were just in the testing area. So no.
Matt Bream?
Yeah, Dana, what's this day been like? I mean, was it kind of a sudden surprise that you weren't playing, or was it kind of a deal where your team was prepared a couple hours ahead of time that, hey, this might not happen?
No, we got up and, had an early breakfast, and, the guys were getting ready for the game. And when we got the first indication that one of the officials had tested positive, and the three officials that worked the Oregon State game last night were just coming over. So the three of them contact tracing. We could have played with two if the officials would have been coming in from different places and one had tested positive, we could have been all right. But it was a crew that had been together. And so that wasn't possible to play with two.
James.
In terms of the potential for when to even, I mean, I realize this is all just happening in real time, Dana, but just looking at the schedules of when this could even be made up, is it possible to get a crew in here to actually do this sometime in the next, like tomorrow? Because UCLA just traveled all the way up here for nothing, or is this going to have to be some other time, but it just doesn't seem very easy to figure this out when, other than you going down to the Bay Area or them coming up here from the Bay Area to play you guys amidst that trip?
No, UCLA's already packed up and gone. So we won't be making it up anytime soon. So with Christmas and everything coming up, like I said, the UCLA, they're already gone, James. It won't be here in the next few days. Possibly, make it up later on. But there's going to be a lot of scheduling dilemmas. I think USC, Oregon State already, and so we're just going to have to fight through it. Just going to have to make the best of a situation, just like football did. There's no difference in what football went through, and it's just going to be one of those years.
Chris Hansen, register guard.
Yeah, Dana, you said that these guys officiated the Oregon State game last night. Does this make you nervous at all that officiating crew that obviously cleared protocol yesterday doesn't clear protocol today, and what that could mean kind of in the long term and what these tests actually are saying or not saying?
Well, I'm not a doctor. I have no idea. I know we're tested every day, and it changes day to day. So, officials would be the same. That's why we do the daily testing, to see, try to get on it right away, so that someone that is positive, doesn't have a prolonged time period around other people. It's the big advantage of testing every day, Chris, is that right away if somebody is potentially, has a problem. So it is unusual, I think, that one day is okay, next day is not. But I think that is part of the daily testing.
Matt?
Everyone's kind of writing the rule books as we go. We've never been through something like this. Is this a situation where maybe the league can pivot and say, hey, we're going to have two separate crews at each game just in case something happens with the main officiating crew?
Oh, that's not possible. There's not enough officials. We have an alternate that is going to be available, on all the conference games after, starting on the 31st, which I think is a very good rule. Something that, if a situation like this happens, or if one gets hurt during the game, that we have an alternate there. And that was a decision made by the conference that I think is going to be very good. It wouldn't have mattered in today's ball game because of the contact tracing of all three officials working last night. But moving forward, I think it will have some relevance. But there are not enough officials, definitely on the West Coast, to have that kind of coverage. Bobby Dibler does a great job. It's a tough job, working games, but and we had a good crew working. Randy McCall's great. Eric's great. Kevin's done a lot of our games. We had a great crew, but just one of those things. But again, getting officials with experience, is difficult for Bobby, for all the conference games, especially on a Saturday when everybody's playing. Getting experienced officials is very difficult.
Warren Williamson, Oregon Duck Football.
Dana, kind of going off of what James asked you, was it your understanding, did they get tested at the hotel or were they inside of the building? Did they actually make it into the bowl area, these officials? And
well, I don't know. I think they get tested. We test on the loading dock down in the lower level of the arena, and my guess is they were tested there. I have no idea. I don't know that for a fact, Warren. But my guess would be we test the other team. We test ourselves. Everybody's tested in the loading dock. So that would be my guess. But that's just a guess because I do not know. I don't know if they were tested here or where they were tested.
Chris.
Yeah, you mentioned the other day that half your team is heading home for the Christmas break and half of them are staying here. Is this something that you can use if they need one, as a cautionary tale by like saying, hey, look how quickly you can think you're playing and then you're not playing because of a situation like this? This is how serious it is.
Chris, I think our guys have really been aware of that. We talk about it so often. They've seen so many games postponed and canceled. It hit us the first week of the season, and our guys were really affected by that. Because they were, you practice for 5 weeks. You want to play. And that first week is always everybody. And then we had to watch everybody else playing on TV. So they went through that. We talk about it so often. I think they're probably getting tired of us. Always telling them, hey, now be careful, guys. And, you're out there for the whole team. We're all in this together. There's only so much you can say to them. We've talked to them about going home, and how they have to be diligent. They're going home to see their families. Please keep it to their families and that. But I just thought, in this year with the pressure that they're under, I felt it was important if they wanted to go home, and their families felt that, and we're in this together. When I talked to their families and listened to their families, I knew they wanted their sons home for the holidays, and so it was an easy decision on my part, this is how our families feel, and again, more than half of them decided to end up going home. There's a few staying, but almost, most of them are going home. So their families felt strongly, and I just hope they, do a good job making decisions. And I told them one more time before they left that, I was counting on them making good decisions, and they've done a good job so far, so I hope they continue that.
James, you're up.
Dan, I just wanted the latest timetable with Will. It's been 3 weeks. We hadn't asked you yet, no follow there. Is he still on track for 6 weeks? So is that 3 weeks into January at that point, where I'm guessing the Oregon State game might be about the earliest? Is that still on track, or where is he at this point?
James, 6 weeks is our optimistic view. And so, we're still, December 2nd was the surgery. Go 6 weeks from there, that would be the earliest. And then, with, Will's got a big time future. We won't take any chances. So we'll make sure that we do everything again that the doctors tell us to do. So, I'm hoping it's mid-January, but I would say somewhere from mid-January to the 1st of February is kind of where we're looking.
Coach, that looks like is all we have for you. Appreciate it. Happy holidays.
All right. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. And for those that just want to enjoy the holiday season, all the best. And we'll see you the 31st. I hope on the 31st.